And these people out there don't understand how important Kyle Rittenhouse's case is to every lawful gun owner in this country. For concealed carriers, Kyle Rittenhouse represents our worst fears and our highest hopes, right? Because everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, right? The biggest fear that concealed carriers have is that they use their firearms in self-defense and then they get charged with a crime. And then the worst fear on top of that is they get sued for it civilly, which both things happen to Kyle and are happening to Kyle. And the highest hopes is that a jury of your peers will look at the case after hundreds of thousands of dollars and months of stress and strain emotionally and physically and get acquitted. So it does represent the highest hopes, but also the greatest fears. There's two ways you can lose your life in a self-defense scenario. You can lose it from the hands of the bad guy, or you can lose it by going to jail. We owe it to ourselves as a society to look at relevant cases and determine what value exists inside of that case, whether it's good or bad. I don't look at it as good or bad. I look at it as a roadmap. And there isn't a CCW instructor in the country right now, a firearms instructor in the country right now, that is not looking at, mentioning, discussing, dissecting, digesting all things Kyle Rittenhouse case, right? This is an important case because Kyle got put through the full gamut. He went from charges to trial and jury. It didn't get settled or didn't plea out, right? And, kudos to Kyle for not punking out and taking a deal, because the value in this case is tremendously important. Number one, the prosecution was forced to have to lay out all their tools for everybody to see. Now we know what they're going to do to go after us. If lawyers aren't picking that case apart for self-defense arguments, they're a fool, because they pulled out all the stops on this case. They threw everything at him. They threw video games at him. I mean, there's nothing they didn't try to hit him with. And if after all of that, and people saying, oh, well, the cops helped him and he got away with it, or whatever it is they're saying, no. They went after him full bore with pitchforks and tiki torches. They charged him with murder. They went after him. But thank God we have in this country a jury of our peers. And for somebody to say, look, to come back with a not guilty verdict, those people in that jury would have had to say, you know what, I'd have shot him too. And that's the best thing that you can hope that a juror says in their minds. You know what? If somebody was coming at me with a handgun or smashing me over the head with a skateboard, which definitely is a deadly weapon, and they say, you know what? If I'd been in that situation, I'd have shot him too. As a CCW instructor, I teach this concept constantly, 4 days a week. That imminent jeopardy, you have to have the right to be where you're at, and he did have the right to be there. Whether he crossed the state lines with a rifle or not, that doesn't matter, because he had no foreknowledge of what he was going to encounter. Right? He had a right to be on those streets, protecting buildings, just the same as other people so apparently had a right to destroy them. That's, if one side's right, they're both right.